animosity on the ground, then baadaye you come turn it down ati ndio watu waseme huyu msee ametusikia, MP wamesukuma wamelazimisha lakini amerudisha. But now this is another generation. These are people who've been following up, they've been looking at what you are doing, and they know you're just playing tricks. So now the question is, did Nabi know that the attacks were coming, like people were going to parliament and everything? I don't know if he knew, but it was clear, unless he was ignorant.
But Kelvin,
yes.
Si Nabi na simse ni msewa Biblia.
Sasa ndio nimempiga verse hapa ndio ajikumbushe.
Okay, so I'll just checking.
Like and you know and not to go tribal, but both you, Roba, and you come from a community where Ruto got almost 100% support, you know, so, and you guys are out in the front lines, you know, which, you know, like for a moment I was worried for the two of you. How's this, whatever is happening in Kenya right now, how are, you know, like people who support Ruto out here in the diaspora, the diehards, what's their feeling? What are they saying? Are they cracking, or are they just keeping quiet right now because this is loud and they'll come back to support him again? Or what's happening there?
First of all, you know, there was a comment about Isaac Mwaura Najua.
Yes.
So I want to make it, you know, this is, people turn things around sometimes or misunderstand and then twist them. This is politics. So to state categorically, I'm not classifying people who are suffering from albinism as you know, mocking them by saying tumewachia jua. But this is particularly Isaac Mwaura, and the reason, if you are an advisor to the president, mwana watu wamekataa finance bill, you are the people who actually in the recent allocation they had 1.1 billion for advisory. So if you cannot advise the president to go with the mood of the nation after receiving reports from the NIS and such telling you the ground is slippery and everything, until people die, snipers are used and everything, ndo mnaambia president sasa ni kama imeumana, you can turn it around. Then I mean, I have no regrets to say it, if you wish suffering on the sons and daughters of other Kenyans, then we can as well wish you the same. But that is particularly in Isaac Mwaura. Going forward, talking about William Ruto, mimi kwanza nilikuwa msewa bosi mbaya sana. Nilikuwa namuita bosi. So mimi actually I drove when he was coming to Tumaini before the elections. I drove from Tennessee to come and see Mr. William Ruto.
God damn it. All the way from Tennessee.
Who is in town. The general is around now. You're coming through.
Tennessee. That's
Tennessee.
like 10 hours.
That's like 12 hours actually.
Oh damn,
12,
okay.
13.
Yeah.
But then why was I making the trip? So I actually happened to come from Elgeyo Marakwet, and at that time we were suffering a lot from the banditry attack. So we were watching women and children at school being attacked and everything. And so I drove all the way and I rose up and I actually spoke. And one thing I talked to Mr. President about was mambo ya banditry, and most common was there who actually happens to be in more closer to the region that is facing the banditry attacks. So I talked about the banditry. You know, those people, they don't have much. I mean, honestly, when you don't have security, then you don't even have any economic activity that is sustainable, because attacks here and there, ngombe zinaibwa nini. So the little thing that these people had is hope. So they are sending their kids to school to get educated. Hopefully things get better, and that is the dream of every parent. You know, you see your kid, umeona maisha imekuwa ngumu, then you just nurture him to grow with education so that they can change the situation back then. But then bandits were coming around, robbing and doing all that stuff. Number two, the famous Kamarin Stadium, which was mentioned in the campaign very much. And actually, it was said to be in Kapenguria, but no, it is in Iten, my hometown. And I was also talking about the runners in Kenya. The runners have brought so much glory to the country.
To Kenya, yes.
But then Kamarin, which is Iten, at the home of champions, watu walikuja wakachimba for, you know, to be platforms for getting contracts and dishing out money. And then they left it. People could not even practice on it anymore. They had to walk all the way down to Tambach, which is like 20 kilometers away, to go and practice. And mind you, if you stayed within athletes back uko nyumbani, most of them don't really have, like, you know, all the money to purchase all these supplements and shoes and everything. They just run by hope, because it's like 1,000 of you running,
Yes.
and a few of you get the prize.
Yes.
So you just run, just hoping that one day milango yako itafunguka. Now these people, they had to walk like 13 kilometers, then go warm up, and then do workouts, which are actually crazy, and then walk back home. So that's why I did all that road trip to come and represent my people and tell them, come on, there's the guys in Elgeyo Marakwet, they have this and this. I mean, it's a lot of things, but I had a short period of time to talk. So those were the two things that I spoke about. Talking about the ground imekuwa slippery. Actually, one of the MPs, Gideon Kimayo from Keo South, leo alikuja Twitter akasema, mazee mnisame
Kumechemuka.
Kalenjin, akasema munipige na kiboko konde. Next time nitasikiza ground, and I will do as per your wishes. And you know, William Ruto is a very good student of Robert Greene. I mean, if you read the 48 Laws of Power, law number 7, it says, let people do the work, then take all the glory for it.
Take the credit.
Yeah. Now this guy, umefanya ma MP huko, there's been so much animosity on the ground, then baadaye you come turn it down, ati ndio watu waseme, umse ametusikia. Ma MP wamesukuma, wamelazimisha, lakini amerudisha. But now this is another generation. These are people who've been following up, they've been looking at what you are doing, and they know you're just playing tricks. And I'll come with 3 quotes. Number 1, in the Art of War, Sun Tzu. Unajua kuna mtu amesema hapa, Ruto hakuwa anajua hii mambo when they were attacking with the NIS.
Yeah.
And Sun Tzu in the Art of War says, if words of command are not clear, then
you are the last party in the conference.
No, go ahead.
Okay, if words of command are not clear and distinct, then the problem is with the Major General. Number 2, hii ni yetu ya Kiswahili, wanasema samaki akioza anaoza kutoka kichwani.
Yeah.
Number 3, na hii ndio bosi anapenda, Nabii.
Yeah.
I will tell Nabii, Proverbs 11, chapter 11 verse 14, and it says, where there is no guidance, people fall, but in abundance of counselors there is safety. So now the question is, did Nabii know that the attacks were coming, like people were going to parliament and everything? I don't know if he knew, but it was clear, unless he was ignorant.
But Kelvin,
yes.
Si Nabii na si mse ni msewa Biblia.
Sasa ndio nimempiga verse hapa ndio ajikumbushe.
Okay, so I just checking.
Ndio ajikumbushe. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, if you look at the president, who is he surrounded by? You know, we have people like David D. The other day we were complaining about taxes. And these were guys who allocated 1 billion to advise the president. Jamaa akasema, we are not listening to whatever you are saying. You either wait to 2027 or you overthrow the government if you wish so.
Yes.
Those are people surrounding the president.
Kiburi.
Now, how do you lead? How do you lead with people like that around you? There's no way. We go to the whole start why the finance bill is having a lot of, controversy and everything. So, we are telling Mr. President, the simple role of business in government. Number 1, make sure there's an enabling environment for businesses to prosper and people to come in. Now, if you look clearly at the president, Prezo ni kama ameamua mambo watu wafanyia nyinyi ni kuexport labor tu. Anaenda huko anakuja kusema nimeongea na watu, tunahitaji watu hapa tunatuma. But now mind you, there are disadvantage of doing that, and one of them is brain drain.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you end up losing skilled workers in your country and things like that.
Yes.
And we look at last year, for example, Jumia deliveries, hao ni watu wamekuwa Kenya for a long time. They closed up and they packed and went. Now ndio watu walikuwa wanalipa a lot of taxes. Because now, if you keep cutting on income taxes or na biashara, you create an hostile environment for businesses to grow, then you'll just end up recycling revenue. Una collect tax, unalipa wananchi, una collect donor, what will be left apart from the ADA, which are collected from the e-citizen and things like that. So you're telling the president, you've tried so much with tax rises, and what has happened is businesses have left the country, startups have fallen down. So why don't you try tax cuts? Like, for example, Kennedy in 1953 in the United States, alifanya tax cuts, and what does that do? It means there's less that is required for for people to start businesses, entrepreneurs to start businesses, and other investors come in because they see that is a good place to invest because there are no harsh taxes.
Yes.
So when they come in, then you collect taxes from them, you get the money, you create employment opportunities for the people, and you get the money from there. But now this guy is not doing that. He just wants to increase taxes and taxes, but you are chasing investment away. Investors are not coming in. And actually looking at Kenya, it is at a very perfect time for investors to come in. And that's why it's been termed as the Silicon Savannah.
Yeah.
Everyone is looking at it. But now if you don't structure the taxes in such a way that they are accommodative to investors who want to come in, then you are not getting nothing out of it. And we actually, if you look at the startups in Kenya, if you look at these tech forums where they crowdfund for startups, Kenya has had one of the most successful startups stories, whereby wasa wanakam hapa, wanakam na innovative technologies, walami wanacheki or any other investor wanasema hii idea ni fit, itashika, let us contribute to it because it's a good idea, design ya Shark Tank. But then what happens, you realize getting there, almost all of them fail. Why? Because there's no employment, you are not putting money to the people, because at the same time, if you don't let businesses have a good time setting up, if you don't create employment, even when foreign investors come in, there's no money in the pockets of the people, there's no purchasing power.
There's no purchasing power.
Now, and when there's no purchasing power, the businesses can't sell.
Yes.
And when they can't sell, then they pack and leave.
I think also to add to that, kuna issue
Yeah.
brown envelopes, because everybody wants a little
Rent
cut.
seekers.
Of
Rent
course.
seekers
So
everywhere.
like if Kelvin wants to have a startup, before he's able to even before he's even able to set it up, there are hoops that he has to go through in order to set it up, because he'll be called for a meeting, then it's like, there's no point of me doing this. I might as well just go to either a neighboring country where I'm not going to be hammered on taxes.
Yes.
Exactly.
But it has been an issue.
Yeah, rent seekers, like and they're all over the place. So many